Welcome to the Wolf Den. Hey everybody, it's the Spirit Wolf here. I got my good friend, the hostess with the mostest, Linda, aka the GamerGirl. How you doing, Linda?
I am good.
Oh
Hopefully,
no!
we don't have to do this the whole podcast, but hey, everybody.
But no. Uh, I figured since the first podcast with Linda was so much fun, I'd come back again. But this time, we're going to talk Halloween related games, movies, and whatever spookiness we can think of.
Hell yeah.
So, first things first, Linda, tell us about your experiences with Halloween.
So, from the beginning as a kid, I remember always going trick or treating. Even when I was little, we always went around the neighborhood. We knew what houses to hit. We got the good candy. And we would go not too long. We would go only at specific neighborhoods. Then we'd go to the mall. And then we'd go out to the trunk or treat. And that was it.
Right.
It was pretty much that.
Right.
Then we went to, I know it was depending on the year, we would go see maybe possibly a movie if we had the time. But overall,
Mm-hmm.
Halloween is my favorite. I love it.
Well, for me, Halloween is also one of my personal favorites. I did the same things like you did. I dress up in my costumes and make sure I had like my flashlight or a glow stick so people driving by would see me and not be like, oh my God, I'm going to hit this kid or not. And hit the houses that always gave out the best candies. And I'd usually be out in about hour and a half, 2 hours tops. Then come home and then talk to my sisters and try to trade candies, try to get the best candies. And then the very next day, we'd go to the movie if there was still a scary movie playing. My original first ever scary movie that I went and saw was the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice.
I know. And let me tell you, seeing that movie for the first time, being as young as I was, being a young little wolf lad, I have to tell you, that movie used to scare me a lot.
It still scares me because that's actually true and it could happen to anybody at any time.
Oh, yeah. But the thing about it is, Linda, would you agree with me that the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre would be considered in the Mount Rushmore of scary movies?
Yeah, it's up there. It's definitely one of those ones where they got a good cast and they definitely made sure that everybody was acting. And I felt bad for the cast after I found out how horrible their conditions were that they worked.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, what is your Mount Rushmore of scary movies, Linda?
Wow. Okay. So I would have to
Yeah, I'm
say,
gonna put you on the spot,
you
girl.
know what? I'm going to go for two categories. One
Go ahead.
that's ridiculously funny that you are like, how the hell did this get as a horror film? But it's still
Okay.
good. And then I'm going to go the actual scare the crap out of me. And the one
Okay.
that scared the crap out of me, the one that's top tier for me is Hellraiser. Hellraiser scared me so bad when I was young. And I was so shocked by how much, they got away with a lot. I was really boggled. And you might have said, oh, I'm surprised she didn't pick Exorcist. Exorcist didn't really scare me. I
It
didn't
did
I,
me.
I didn't find it as scary. And the reason why is because I just kind of got the impression that they left out a lot of stuff. And then I really did read the real story of what it was based off of. And I was like, yeah, they left out tons of stuff that could have scared me more. But Hellraiser,
Right.
he tried to, buggle up as much of the book as he could into the movie. and he did a really good job.
Yeah.
And so then the one that scares me, that's hilarious, that I'm surprised it's good even though I laugh every time I see it. It's Scream. Scream the movie. That one's a good one. I like it. That one, every time I see it, I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I like it. I've always seen Scream every year. And I think it's because they just make fun of all the horror movies.
Uh, would you be surprised, Linda? My Mount Rushmore is a little bit different than yours.
Okay. I could be
When you
surprised, but I know it's going to be different.
well, the first time I seen it, I was actually originally scared of Jason Voorhees.
I can see that.
You know, I thought there was a real man out there with a machete and a hockey mask doing what he does, okay?
Well, there is a guy always out in the forest somewhere attacking people, just not with the hockey mask.
Hey, the hills have eyes, Linda.
Yep. So true.
Another one on my Mount Rushmore that I thought was scary at the time, Freddy.
It depends on the movie for me. Some of them are a little comical.
Right, but I'm talking like the first two.
I would say the third one, Dream Warriors, actually was my scary one. The first one and the third one.
The first and third for you?
Yeah.
All right. Also on my Mount Rushmore, you were talking about Hellraiser being scary. I thought that guy was a real guy.
Which one? The person who was
Pinhead.
Oh,
Pinhead.
okay. Okay.
And then last but not least for me, everybody kind of bases his name off of mine. Chucky. Charles Lee Ray. I thought them dolls were real. For the longest time, I thought they were real.
I could football kick Chucky. He doesn't scare me.
Hey, this ain't Peanuts and you're not Lucy. Or whatever her name is.
No, you got it right.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. With that being said, off of our Mount Rushmores, you know there's been games throughout the years, like the original Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the original Friday the 13th, stuff like that. In your honest opinion, Linda, which of the games based off of movies do you think has the biggest impact on that movie's franchise?
Oh, so you mean any video game that changed the movie itself?
No, I'm talking about what video game added to the movie's franchise and like money making.
Oh, wow. It's kind of hard. It's a toss up because there's been a couple video games that did really well, like Ghostbusters. That added
Right.
to the franchise, each game that they made.
Mm-hmm.
Goosebumps, even though it's not really scary, has like boosted their sales up because they always had like a couple Goosebump games.
Yeah.
Um, I will say Friday the 13th, that game did pretty well until the lawsuit happened.
What lawsuit?
Oh, you don't
You
remember?
want to elaborate? No. Would you like to elaborate for our fans?
Okay, so Friday the 13th, the multiplayer game, actually was doing pretty good until the rightful owner of Friday the 13th showed up and said, nope, you can't make any more. That's my rights. Those are my films. Those are mine, and took it back and actually won the lawsuit. So they had to stop doing what they were doing, and they just said whatever's left is what they made, and that's it.
Hmm.
They were doing some good money over there.
Is what would you say that was possibly New Line Cinema?
No, it was actually the guy who made the first couple films.
Ah.
He sold his rights and then he wanted it back. From what I remember, my understanding, he got tired of everything and how much he was not getting, I guess, and he fought and
Bas-
won.
Basically, he wanted a slice of the pie too.
What I gather, that's all I can remember for right now, but I know it's still ongoing and they kind of just realized they're losing the battle. So they kind of just said, whatever we made is what we're going to leave and we're not going to add to it. We're going to leave it on and you can play off of each other's internet and that's it. So he basically destroyed the game and it was actually doing good. They had brought in Kane Hodder and they brought in a bunch of other people who worked on the film and they wanted everybody to, be remembered in the game and he just didn't want it. So it kind of made me sad. I was like, "Aw, I like this game. This game was good."
Believe it or not, with a lot of our fellow YouTubers out there, shout out to KJ Del Rey. She was the one that inspired me to go buy the Friday the 13th PS4 game.
Yeah, I bought it on both. I bought it on Switch and PS4. I played it almost every week for months
Mm-hmm.
until the internet stopped working, and it was a great game. Didn't matter. I played with multiple groups of people, and I would play the ones with on stream, and then the ones that I would play, at home, just relaxing. Always had a blast every time.
Well, like I said, if you think about it, Linda, you and I even played it together at one time.
Yeah, we played it on stream together. We played with
With
Not Another Game Collector, Your Player 2. We had a
Big
fun
Evil
time. Yeah,
Gaming.
Big Evil Gaming. It was multiple groups of people too.
Mm-hmm.
I missed it.
We even played, if I remember right, we even played it with I forget. I know their real names, but I forget the YouTube channel name. It was Tom and Lacey.
Do you nerd?
Yeah,
Do you
thank you.
nerd for Friday the 13th?
Yeah, shout out to Do You Nerd.
Hell yeah.
You know,
They were
but
crushing it.
oh yeah, but let me ask you this, Linda.
Yeah.
When you were a little girl, was there any old like scary movie franchise toys that really scared the heck out of you?
Um yeah, it was Spawn. Spawn was one of those franchises that scared me. And the reason why is because my uncle and my grandpa collected them. So every time I would see them, and I'm just like at night when I'm
You're like,
walking around, like I forget they're there, and there'd just be Spawn in like 4 different forms, just chilling, staring at me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't go to the bathroom without being scared.
you're like, nope, not today.
Yeah,
I don't have to go potty or anything.
yeah. It was like I'm gonna go to the other bathroom where they're not displayed.
Yeah. For me, believe it or not, it was Freddy Krueger because, the nails or whatever you want to call those for his hands. And being as young as I was, I always thought Freddy was outside getting ready to slide his claws down like a chalkboard or down a wall to come and get me. And it used to scare me a lot, especially during a thunderstorm.
Yeah, for me though, we didn't have certain franchises we watched. It was basically my household would there was borderline where you couldn't watch stuff. So I'd have to watch in the room or we weren't allowed to collect it or have it. And it was Freddy Krueger, Jason, stuff like that. So Spawn was the like exception, I guess, because my nana didn't think Spawn was bad, even though technically it is.
You're like, Mom, this is bad. And she's like, oh, but no, sweetie, it's perfectly fine. Pretty much.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't try to think about it, explain it. It's just I don't know. Just certain things got away with whatever they did.
Right. Let me ask you this, Linda. If you could raise a child in today's scary movie franchises, which ones do you think your child would be scared of today compared to what used to scare you as a child?
Oh boy. what I think would be scary today would still be Mist. I don't know if you remember Mist.
I remember Mist, yes.
I think that would still scare people because of the dimension portal thing. I think people would
Yeah.
still get scared of that because even though it's kind of corny in some points, but it's still to the point where you don't know how to get away. He keeps making wrong decisions and people keep dying in front of him and you don't know what's in the mist and you're scared. That one I think would actually not the TV show, but just the movie itself would scare people.
Right.
I think Hellraiser would still scare people. That one. I know they're remaking it, so another scary
Yeah.
one. The new Candyman. I haven't seen it, but I know Candyman is scary.
I didn't get to see it either, but I'm gonna own it eventually.
Yeah, but I think Candyman would be a good one to say everybody would be scared of that. Um, and I seriously think Jason, Friday, Friday the 13th, 2 through 4 would scare people just because of he hasn't gone cuckoo and he's not in Manhattan and he's not being comical. So I think those would be the ones that, and maybe possibly the remakes of several franchises like that would do well because it's still bringing a classic, but just CGI. We'll know eventually because I'm telling you something's gonna pop up again.
Yeah.
The 90s are back,
Well,
baby.
well, for me, honestly, I have to disagree with you on Jason because if you remember right, they already have redone the first Friday the 13th and they toned it down and they've already remade uh a Nightmare on Elm Street and they toned down Freddy also. But in my honest opinion, I would love to see them fully remake the Leprechauns.
Oh boy.
I'm the Leprechaun.
That would be just comical again. I don't think they could make it scary. There's no way to make a leprechaun scary. Unless
That
they make it to where he actually is kind of like Candyman where you have to call him and then he attacks you the whole time because every time I saw a leprechaun, I was just running and laughing. I'd be like,
well,
"No."
well, I was gonna say this with Candyman, they booked the right man to play Candyman, and Mr. Tony Todd.
Yeah.
That man can really freak you out or really make you go, huh. And I can vouch for this. Tony Todd, his voice when he was in the movie Final Destination,
Mhm. Yeah.
all I got simply say is, I don't want to mess with that mortuary guy
No, I would
anytime.
not.
But with him being in the remake of Night of the Living Dead as Ben, that's what made me go, huh. So this is your plan, but how are you going to execute it? Type deal. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And then when it came for him to do Candyman, I ain't gonna lie, I don't own the original. Actually, I do own the original Candyman, and I own the third Candyman. I don't have the second. But Tony Todd in that movie makes me go and go, I do not want to mess with bees or wasps or anything else.
Well, just even just remotely wanting not to say Candyman in the mirror is what I thought was a
Yeah,
good
that.
attack to anybody. Because it's just like they same thing for us. We have you don't want to say or be out at midnight walking around, and then the kukui or the La Llorona could come at you. You never know.
Or the Luka Lakaliki or whatever.
Yeah, there's always something that will attack you. You just
Yeah.
don't want to say the name or anything like that.
But if I was to have kids today and I would want to take them to the movies to see a good scary movie, I would just save my money at home, pull out the DVDs, and let them watch stuff like Tremors, okay, about the underground worms, and see if that scares them. If that don't do it, then I'll pull out uh, Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th or Chucky or even uh, Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, just stuff like that.
I don't know. For me, I just can't get into Tremors. I see the premise and I saw what they were going for, but I just never got scared with that one.
Well, I can see where some people would get scared if they were like 4 or 5 years old
Yeah.
and thinking that, oh my goodness, if I step outside, I'm going to be ate by a giant worm. But as an adult, I'm like, hey, fish bait right there. you know?
Yeah, well, I can see why people are always so scared by certain movies. Like
Right,
Descent
right.
is another scary movie that only if you really are claustrophobic or scared of caves or scared of anything to do with creatures that you can't understand. It's kind of like Until Dawn. You don't know what's actually happening until the very twist at the end. That would scare me because, I mean, in a way, you don't know what's going to happen in the dark and you're trying to get out and then you're losing your mind because you're in the dark for too long. It's also a mental state, you know. That's more down my alley than Tremors cuz Tremors eventually you could just like throw a bomb down there and then goodbye. Those creatures in Descent were scarier than that because they actually sneak attacked you and you thought, well, were they human at one time? That's what I thought about, you know. They made me wonder, are they human at one time? Because it really truly scared me to think about are there human creatures like mermaids walking this earth and we don't know about them because they're stuck in caverns that we can't get to, and the only way we find out about them is because of that crap, but it's too late. That's what happened. So it's always boggled my mind about people who make movies like that because I thought about that. I was like, oh, that's a good movie. I want to see that. Or like The Ring, you know, the guy who made The Ring, he made a bunch of horror films and they were all creepy in my opinion. I liked them so much. I really did enjoy all those ones. They were so good. The Ring was good. I loved it. I loved, you know, seeing just the face of the girl in the closet really scared me when I first saw it. I was like, "What the hell was that?" That sneak scare got me, man. You know what I mean? That was a big one that I thought about. And I was like, "Okay, whatever you say. Don't ever do that again to me." We'll see what happens, but it was a point in my time when I was like, "Yeah, man." But another one that I thought about would really scare me if I ever did, you know, meet that creature in real life would have to be, I think it would have to be, you know, something to do with, shoot, just anything spiritual, spirit wise, you know, demons. And
Ooh.
yeah, or surgeons. Like Dr. Giggles. I don't know if you remember that horror film. Dr. Giggles scared me too. So anything spiritual or ghost wise, but not like The Exorcist, where it's just watching somebody, you know, do an exorcism all day in that horror film, like The Exorcism of what was it, Emily or something like that. That one wasn't
Emily
good.
Hatchet.
Yeah,
Emily
that
Hatchet.
one wasn't good. I mean, it was okay, but it really like there was another one. Was it The Exorcism of Rose or something like that? The chick from Record,
Yeah.
that horror film, that
Yeah.
one didn't scare me either because they kept explaining too much throughout in between. I was like, just do the court scene and call it a day. But if I were to think, that would actually scare me. Those things scare me. Surgeons, ones that take advantage of people, that's another horror film that would scare me and I think would truly be a vast, like, needs to be expanded on and actually see more of that in their state. Like we don't see it as much as we used to, where they have that. They have copy and paste. If you understand what I'm saying, you know.
I get it. I was gonna bring into light. Uh, you and I have not discussed this, but what about the Conjuring franchise?
Okay, so here's my point of view, and just hear me out for a second. I
I'm
heard
listening. What do you got?
I heard some news about the Conjuring that kind of makes me not like the Conjuring anymore.
Okay.
So some news came to light, and it was basically a guy who worked with them, and he said that they were fabricating stories to make them sell well in books and magazines when they were in their heyday back in the day, and that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the stuff that happened wasn't as scary as they thought. So kind of like, you
Right.
know how you go to ghost hunting and you don't really hear much. You just hear the family say something happened and nothing happens when they're actually out there. Kind of like that happened a lot, where they would really really hype up something that happened, and they would ask the family to lie, and they would ask everybody who worked there to lie all the time. And so they would write down, and they actually had an author come in and help them write a scary story. A horror author came in. They paid the guy, and he finally admitted to it. And he said, I helped them write the story to make it more scary." So it kind of ruined Conjuring, and I didn't even mean to. I was just watching TikToks. I was like, oh man, you know, it burst my bubble. I will say though, I still watched Conjuring, but now I'm like, oh man. It's like when I saw Ghost Hunters and I realized that Ghost Hunters was fake.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that they were faking stuff because a couple producers finally came to light and said, "Yeah, we saw them see people walking around and they just kept it in the show." And I was like, man, I'm so bummed right now." There's been times when I thought
well,
about that.
well, I will tell you right now. I have friends that love the Conjuring franchise. They love the ghost story behind it and all that. With me, I own the first two Conjuring films,
Yeah.
plus the continuation with the Nun and all that.
I will say the Nun is a good one. I like the first one and the Nun. The one with the doll didn't really scare me because when you actually see what it looks like in real life, you're like, oh, that's not scary.
Right.
It's
We
Raggedy
all
Ann.
know. We all know. Annabelle the doll is a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, it's not scary. I saw the film and I was like, oh, that's kind of creepy. And then I saw the doll in real life. I was like, another ruin of the movie.
Yeah. But with me, I like the Conjuring and all that. I did see the third Conjuring movie about the devil made me do it and all that.
Hmm, I haven't seen it yet.
Uh, by the way, Wanda, the devil made me host this podcast, so rest in peace.
Oh, it's all good. I'm good. I just go ask my buddy Jason to help me out. He took one for the team.
But I love the Conjuring franchise. I love Child's Play. And with me mentioning Child's Play, do you think, Linda, since we've already had the Child's Play movie get a remake and it's getting a TV franchise deal on Sci-Fi, check your local listings. Do you think they are going to take Chucky in the same direction as the films in the future, or as down the line the
I'm
TV show?
I'm thinking they're gonna go in the way of Halloween and just scratch some of the films and just rewrite it again. I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen because when I saw the new Halloween movies, I was like, oh, really? They got rid of like two and moving forward. I feel like that's gonna happen with Chucky. They're gonna get rid of maybe Bride of Chucky and just have like he be a psycho killer and never have a family. Because once he became a family man, it kind of like fell for a lot of people and the sales went down a little bit. So you know, I think it's gonna happen like that. I think we're gonna get a point where nothing's gonna either change or it's gonna be a dramatic
Yeah.
change like Halloween.
Speaking of that, Linda, are you going to go see the new Halloween Kills next month?
I haven't even seen the first one, dude. I gotta watch that one first.
Well, I'm just saying, after you see this first one, you plan to see Halloween Kills.
I really don't know. I have to see the first one and then I have to make my judgment call.
All
I, I'm
right.
I'm so wanting not to watch it. You know why? Because I love Daniel Harris's character, Jamie, and
Yeah.
just how they kept treating Jamie's character throughout the whole franchise, and then finally just saying she's gone all the way through. I'm like, oh man, you know?
So, so basically, you're telling us you like the original John Carpenter's Halloween's 4 and 5.
Yeah,
Okay, I can see that.
yeah. That was
With me,
my go to. I used to watch that all the time. I still do. I still watch it every year if it's on Netflix or on YouTube for free.
or another quick program note: AMC Fear Fest. Check your local listings for that too.
And if you got kiddos, Freeform.
Hey, if you've got kids, make sure they're in bed before the movie comes on, because we don't need them getting traumatized. Now, do we, Linda?
I got traumatized at 6 years old. I look at me, I'm still good.
That makes you wonder. Hold on. Dink, dink, dink. Oh, sorry, folks. She ain't got no brains.
That's okay. I took your brains.
Hey, you know what? As you can tell, me and Linda, we love Halloween. That's why we've been poking our little jabs, because Halloween is less than what, Linda? 4 weeks away?
No.
Or 5?
No. I start watching Halloween movies at the end, like around the 30th. So, oh yeah.
Well, I'm saying for our calendar listeners.
No. Halloween is every day in October.
Oh, I forgot, fans. Linda here's a pumpkin spice drinker.
Hell no. I don't like pumpkin spice. They're just not good. Dude, I've tried those and they're not good at all. Pumpkin spice
I
lattes just are not my thing.
I only do pumpkin spice tea. That's it.
Yeah. But the reason why I say Halloween is every day in October for me is because
Mhm.
I literally I don't listen to any other music. I watch only horror games and I watch horror movies every day. And that's the one thing that I will do is that. And then Christmas, like, it's okay. I watch Christmas movies, but I will watch other movies. But Halloween, the whole October month, I will just watch nonstop everything horror. So that's how we do it.
Well, Linda, you remind me of certain fans and people I know of that they consider Christmas all year round and they consider Halloween all year round. So, with that being said, between those two holidays, which one do you prefer the most?
Halloween,
Why?
because I can scare people and I can watch scary movies and not have and it's the one time of the year when nobody cares if you look like a maniac.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble here, Linda, but not everybody wants to be scary looked by you.
It's okay. They'll have to have it happen.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to deal with it.
yeah. By the way, everybody, if you check out Linda's shop on her website, you can buy Linda, aka the Gamer Girl mask, and look just like her.
Oh, shut up. No, there's nothing on there. Do not look for that. There's only t-shirts, dude. Come on now.
Hey, I can hear the fans. They're like, "We want the mask. We want the mask."
Are you gonna pay for that?
Hey, it's on your shop, so they have to pay you.
Nah, I don't have. There's nothing on there for me. I'm good.
But To wrap this all up in one big beautiful gift for you, I will tell you all Halloween, the movies, the games, the merchandise, even the costumes are some years really, really ridiculous. And some of them are like, huh, right, Linda?
Yeah, I agree. There's some years where it's just, what were they thinking? Why is there so many of this different type? And it's becoming more and more each year. The past like 3 years, they've been copying. Like they had Post Malone, but it wasn't Post Malone. It just says some rapper.
Hey, if you remember right, Linda, about, what would you say, 10, 15 years ago? Some of the big Halloween costumes were like Beyonce or Jay
Yeah,
Z
but they got in
or.
trouble. That's why now they still do Beyonce and Jay Z, but it doesn't say the name. It just says some random name, and then you can tell that it's meant to be Post Malone or Beyonce or Nelly.
Hey, don't forget the crazy costume back in, I think it was 2002 when Britney Spears took a razor to her head.
Oh yeah, that was not a good year.
That was Britney Spears saying, "Leave me alone and don't hit me, baby, one more time."
That, and she was tired of getting used for money, so she was like, well, maybe if I don't look good anymore, nobody will bother with me. But then she brought more attention than she needed.
Well, if you remember right, the reason why she had attention brought to her was because of her little sister.
Yeah.
But still, you get the point.
And on that note,
Uh,
it's time to wrap it up before we go any more crazy.
yeah, I think we've had enough fun for tonight, don't you think?
Yeah.
With that being said, I am Spirit Wolf Gaming. That is Linda, aka the Gamer Girl.
Yas.
Linda, your final words for the night of wisdom are:
Don't watch every horror film. They're not all worth your time.
some are good, some are bad, and some are just yeah. And with that, we say good night, God bless. Subscribe to Linda's channel, Linda, aka the Gamer Girl, on YouTube. Subscribe to mine if you want, Spirit Wolf Gaming. Good night, everybody, and peace out.
Happy Halloween.